Hello YouTubers, this is Len Mooney here today, and it's going to be a pickups video. Got a variety of Wii games and 2 PS4 games, PS3, PS2, Wii U, 3DS games, so kind of a good variety over here that we have. I'm going to be talking about a couple of them, the reasons why my husband and I decided to get them, what we found interesting about them. Some of them we have, or I have started playing a bit of. Some we haven't yet, and those we'll get to. But I'm going to start off with one that we have been playing for a bit, and that's going to be the Wii game called A Boy and His Blob. Now this game is really fun in the aspect of it's a platformer game, but then it has a lot of different interesting mechanics to it, such as you have these little things that are jelly beans that'll help transform your blob, but they have different things that they do. So one of them is like you can see here is like a rocket ship, where you can be able to go and traverse more into other areas that you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise, like little portals, or if you put them onto the floor and then you have these creatures that end up stepping on the portals, they'll fall down and kind of get trapped, or they'll get destroyed by falling into the abyss. So that'll help you to be able to escape from those enemies, or enemies that can charge at you instead of just going through a regular routine of going back and forth pacing, which is great. There's a cannon where you can get shot out of. There's of course a bubble gum bouncer to kind of go up interesting through different levels whenever you're platforming. And there's just so many other kind of power-ups in a way that you can be able to utilize, which is lots of fun. So I would say what kind of drew me into this was for the fact that, well, one, WayForward, so the people who, you know, bring out Shantae, so that was kind of an interesting thing when I saw that on the box, but also kind of for a bit the artwork and the premise of the game itself, and the fact of using the jelly beans and how you can be able to go through your adventure. It just seemed like a lot of fun. It's a nice, relaxing game to play, and technically, even though it is just a one-player game, if you want, you can be able to have it where you can control the character himself, and then you can have the other person hitting the buttons if you want. You can kind of play cooperatively that way. That's kind of what we've been doing, strangely enough, even though it's just technically, yeah, you have the Wii controller and the nunchuck. But it's still lots of fun, whether you play it yourself or you try to do this approach, because then you have to kind of coordinate with each other. Like, hey, if I move over here, then I'll need you to be able to push these buttons, or to choose this jelly bean in order for us to get from one area to another. And we found that to be lots of fun. And then there's kind of like this little house that he's kind of staying in. And with each of the level progressions, stuff gets added and incorporated into the house that he's at. And also there's like a little mini map, and as you go through the different levels, it kind of starts expanding from what you've originally accomplished to other new areas, which is great. But this is the disc, which is the exact same kind of image here that shows on the little manual that it came with. And this one was $15 for this one. But yeah, lots of fun. If you're looking for something that's just soothing, calm, platforming, but has a nice little twist to it, I highly recommend A Boy and His Blob. If you're looking for a party game and you still have a Wii U, I know maybe not a lot of people do, compared to, of course, if you like to the Switch and so forth. But I would say to not pass up on Rumbo Deluxe Edition. This is an excellent party game that's available for 4 players. And there's different types of things that you can be able to do. You know, you can conquer over 140 levels in the single player adventure if you want to. Or you can be able to also experience the included DLC that's added around here as well, besides the original game. Satura's Space Adventure. I'm trying to pronounce these correctly, so sorry if I stutter. All DLC and add-on packs are included. Rumbo OST Volumes 1 and 2. over 15 indie guest characters from your favorite indie games. So like Shovel Knight character, you have Shantae that's in here, and you have a ton of other people that are just included as characters that you can be able to play as well, which is lots of fun. This game was $10. And I don't think it came with this little manual thing that kind of shows you how to be able to work it and stuff, and which controllers work with it, but it's just really 2 pieces of paper for the little manual that came with it. Not really much of anything there for that part, and then the disc itself. But this is just lots of fun. You can be able to work cooperatively in certain modes. There's King on the Hill, where you can be able to, you need to stand on a platform for a certain amount of time, and if you do, then you win that round. But of course you're going to have your other teammates trying to knock you off that platform using different like power-ups. And then there's stages that change where it's like the gravity shuts off, or it flips up to where when you're standing on something, you're going to be upside down. So instead of like flicking the D-pad or the analog stick to the left, you'll have to go to the right, or else you might run into something, spikes or an open space where you'll just die and then respawn, which is it's just a ton of fun. It's just extremely chaotic and a great party game to enjoy with lots of people. So if you still have a Wii U and you're looking for a good party game to play with friends, or with with family members at the home, then this is highly recommended right here. There's lots of laughs and then lots of crying, and this especially with just the main campaign for the game, because it's not easy. It doesn't hold your hand whenever it's for the main campaign, honestly, in my opinion. So this one is going to be the most expensive that was purchased, but for good reason, versus getting it on a different console, because the other one would have been just too expensive. So this one I had already talked about WayForward a bit before with A Boy and His Blob, but this is going to be Shantae and the Pirate's Curse for the 3DS. So there are some games that we do get from Limited Run, and we pick and choose what we like to get. We're not going to collect everything from the first one to all the way to whatever batch that they have for Limited Run. We only pick and choose certain ones. Pick and choose very frugally if there is a limited edition. If not, then normally we just get the standard edition if we want for that particular game. And I would say the ones that we have gotten for, or about to get for the set, they just need to ship it off, is going to be the Shantae series. So you'll have Shantae game 1 through 5, and we already have it pre-ordered for, I'm trying to remember if this is I think this is Pirate's Curse is number 3, if I'm not mistaken, from my husband. I have my phone over here, but I'm not going to check on my phone right now. But I'm pretty sure Pirate's Curse is number 3, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But yeah, we ordered the first one, the second one, we have the 4th one, and that one we were able to get at Best Buy while it was still available, and then the 5th one pre-ordered, which is the latest one that's available now for digitally on the eShop, but the physical version just hasn't been shipped off yet through Limited Run. But this is what you would call a great platformer. Not only that, but you have different game mechanics. Shantae can transform into different creatures in order to be able to help with her adventure of getting up to certain platforms, or getting through small openings, or just being able to help with beating certain enemies, or just enemies in general when she transforms, which is really cool. There's a cast of characters here that are just quite memorable, and the enemies as well. And also, I mean, it goes without saying, but one of the great things also about the Shantae series, from what I've been playing I played a bit of Pirate's Curse, haven't beaten it yet, but played a bit of it digitally. But we wanted to get this since we already have 3 pre-ordered. So 1 to 5, we have 4. And we decided not to get the 3rd game on the Switch, just because now if you didn't get it when you had the chance to from Limited Run, there hasn't been another batch of them created, so of course they're really expensive on eBay or sites online, and personally for both of us it's just not worth it to shell out that much cash towards that. This was $30. This is the most expensive game out of the bunch of games here for the pickups that we've done within the last, I want to say these pickups were from the last 2 months, two and a half months, maybe 3. But yeah, we decided this because 1, the price point for it, 2, do we think that it's going to get more expensive as time goes on? This was the other alternative besides the Switch one for a physical copy. So well, the other 4 games will be the Switch version, and then we'll have number 3 as the 3DS version for the set. But what I was trying to say before though is the songs. Like the music in the Shantae series is phenomenal. Like if you love to just listen to some jams while you're going around town, or you know you're in those levels where you're fighting and stuff, it's just fantastic. The soundtracks for all the games are just phenomenal. So yeah, if you're looking for a good platformer, great song selection through any of the games, cast of characters that's memorable, and just something that's just fun and kind of quirky, then I'd recommend also the Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. This one I was interested in when I watched either Metal Jesus Rocks or Radical Reggie, one of the two, if I'm not mistaken. When I saw that they were talking about this through one of their videos. It's called Heavenly Guardian for the Wii, and it's going to be really reminiscent to like Pocky and Rocky, but with this one what you have, let's see here, because yeah, you'll have co-op play as an option through here. So you'll have 2 people, and that's what was kind of the main thing, trying to find some games throughout the last few months that were more than just single player. Of course there will be some single player games here, but then trying to find some that are 2, 3, or 4 player games that are co-op, couch co-op, which is just kind of nice, and we kind of kept that in mind throughout whenever we would go to mom and pop shops for games. But if I'm not mistaken from online, originally this was supposed to be a Pocky and Rocky game, but something happened, and so a lot of the characters and stuff had to be replaced accordingly. But if I double check this, for this one I will check my phone, because I'm pretty sure from a long time ago, if memory serves me right, yeah, this title was originally going to be released as a sequel to Pocky and Rocky from the SNES. Due to legal issues with Square Enix, they were forced to change the title and characters while maintaining the core gameplay. So that was kind of the main reason of why I was interested in it, because when I was looking at it I was thinking, wow, this looks like Pocky and Rocky, and lo and behold, that's one of the reasons why. Because fundamentally it was originally supposed to be that. And if you haven't checked out like Pocky and Rocky games, it's just lots of fun. There'll be like little battles throughout the levels that you traverse and go through, but then of course there'll be boss battles and different type of power-ups and power-ups like talismans and stuff. But it's like different things where whenever you shoot, vertical, and then there'll be ones where you can be able to shoot through multiple directions and stuff, just being able to get different things to be able to help throughout your journey, which is really cool. It's just something enjoyable, because I had enjoyed Pocky and Rocky for the Game Boy Advance. So seeing something like this again, but for the Wii, I was like, why not? This one was online. We got this one online, if I'm not mistaken, for either $10 or $15. I think it was $10 though for this one. This one's gonna be, let's see. The next one that I'm going to talk about is called Octomania. And this is kind of similar when I looked at it to what I thought of Puyo Puyo. Or like over here we have like Puyo Puyo Tetris for the Switch. I originally played Puyo Puyo for the first time when it was like a mini game for the Project Mirai series, like I think Project Mirai DX. I can't remember if the first or second Mirai game for the 3DS Japan, if it also had the Puyo Puyo in it, but that was my first experience with it. And of course, you know, you would take the different like little monster, like little globs that have faces, and there would be different colors, and then you would match those colors, and they would start stacking, kind of like Tetris, you know, in order to get a high score. But with this one, it adds a bit of a different elements to it. You have different sections where you have numbers and different kind of zones that are on the map, like a number 6, number 4, number 5, or whatever number it is, and you're trying to like take like a particular color that you have in order to match that number in order to make it, I think, disappear. But what I liked about it also is it looks like it has a really funny, interesting story. On the back of it, I'll read the first part that's over here, because it made me laugh whenever I saw it. It's just another day in Lunropia. Man, saying that wrong, probably Kari. An apprentice magician decides to summon up some of her favorite treat, takoyaki, but instead of delicious takoyaki appearing, a shower of colored octopi rain down from the sky. A guardian angel appears and informs Kari that she must ride Lunropia of the octopi, and now she must embark on a journey to find the prince. Man, this prince's name, Exaltus. Surely he will know what to do. Besides the names of certain things that are in here that I can't, of course, pronounce correctly, sorry. Like, it just put a smile to my face. It made me laugh. And then it looks like to the side, like you'll have what's going around through here that you need to work on, but then like different images or video, like short clips, will pop up to the side. So I'm hoping it will have at least, I'm not expecting like a theatrical performance or anything by the means, but something where it shows like a little bit of a little story type thing that kind of goes through it. But it looks so cute and adorable, and I do like Puyo Puyo and Tetris, so it just seemed fair to give this a shot as well. And also it says you can do 2 players, so why not? That even adds to it. But yeah, this game itself was $6 for this one. Okay, the next one is going to be, I keep taking out the receipts, I need to put them back in there. The next one is called A King's Story. This one was $15. It comes with, just like the other ones, the manual of the game. What got me interested into it is because I've seen this game multiple times throughout the years, but I never decided to pick it up. And then for the first time ever, I actually decided to not just look at the front of it, but also read a bit of the back information for it. This is a 1-player game, but it just seems so funny. Like this one, it says, one day a timid boy discovers a mysterious crown and suddenly finds himself a king. Use your newfound power of persuasion to charm, coerce, or just force the citizens of your kingdom to do your bidding. Find treasures, slay dragons, and expand the boundaries of your kingdom as you march towards your goal of absolute domination of the known world. You have 14 different job classes to choose from. No task is beyond your ability. Order someone else to do it. You have over 15 different bosses. From mighty kings to irritating pests that are keeping you from expanding your kingdom as you see fit. Choose your one true love from 7 princesses. Woo them by catering to their every whim, or just close your eyes and pick one at random. So this is one that neither of us have started yet. But just alone for that premise of what you know, just reading it on the back. And, you know, it was a good price for it as well, and it came with everything included. I thought, you know, why not? And we just decided together to get it for all the games, but I'm hoping that this is really, really good. Have any of you played this game? And if so, what were your favorite parts about it? Or what did you really like about it, if anyone out there has played this game? I'd like to know. This one I don't really have much to say for. I know it came out, there's a Super Monkey Ball on Switch and Super Monkey Balls on different handheld consoles and so forth. This one was $7. From what it shows on the inside, it was $7, so it had everything with it. we've never owned a Monkey Ball game, to my knowledge, so why not? Super Monkey Ball, step and roll, but you better believe that really, like, just my preference and Riken's preference were just pretty much using the controller, but not really. I know it says compatible with the Wii Balance board, and some people might find that fun, but I don't think so. It was kind of funny though watching him play like one level or one area for this, because right when he beat one area, I kid you not, you started seeing credits roll on the screen. Like, I was looking at the TV and I was just like, wow, you already beat the game? Wait, didn't you just pop it in? And he's like, yeah, it just popped up with the credits as I went through this one area, and I'm like, huh, that's really strange, but okay. But it looks like you can be able to use the nunchuck with the Wii remote. I say that because I don't think Riken didn't actually do it with the nunchucks. He just did it with the Wii remote, and he was just kind of like turning it with the motion control, and then of course on the screen then it would also kind of mimic that movement for the ball to go forward, backward, left, and right. But yeah, this is a puzzle. Over 70 mind-blowing puzzles, 20 plus party games. Up to 4 it says on here for the Wii remote, so it just seemed like a good pick, you know? Something cheap, something that was a good party, couch co-op type game, and just something fun that's a nice little puzzle game, so I have to give this a shot later since he's already tried a little bit of it. Okay, the next one I'm just going to put both of them side by side. We have 2 Taiko games. They are the Japanese versions, and I should have checked beforehand what the whole name of this is, because this one has a number 2 by it, so it's like the second one of whatever. I don't know for sure if this is the first one. All I know is that I've popped both of them in, and I've played a few songs from each of them. This one's not my first experience with the Taiko series. My first one was for the PSP, if I'm not mistaken, PSP. Or it might have been digitally the Taiko game on... No, I don't have it digitally for the PS Vita. So, there's one that's called for the Idolmaster, where it's Idolmaster collaboration with Taiko. Drum Master series that I've played for the Vita. But I've played some on the Vita for the Idolmaster / Taiko collaboration. The Switch version is the one that's more of the overall, like, has a lot from everything from the Wii or DS type. In the Switch version, of course, there's more like DLC if you want to buy that separately. Normally I don't for this. I do for the Project Diva games normally if there's DLC, depending, but normally I do. But for these, I mean, if you like rhythm games, if you like the availability to be able to switch from different difficulties for them, there's some customization with your character, with your Taiko drum. You can change the color of it. Sometimes you can flip, like, there's different hats, and like you can change the different color sections for the face and for the main body itself, and make it your own type of unique character that represents what you've been doing and so forth, or what you like. There's a little bit of that. There's also the option, I think, for a second player for it, if I'm not mistaken. But since it's all in Japanese, I just have to check online, but I kind of see that 2 people right here while a song is playing, which is really cool. And there's different genres here, so you have J-pop, you have rock, you have classical, you have some songs that are from video games and so forth that are in here, like I'm not sure for in these in particular, like, but I've experienced like songs from Dragon Ball Z, from Naruto, from Bleach, from there's songs from the Project Diva, from the Vocaloids and so forth. So if you like something that has a mix mash of different genre music, you're a fan of rhythm games, I would give these a shot as well. Do note that the Wii itself is region locked, so if you have a Japanese Wii, or if you have a modded Wii that can be able to play out of region games, then I would recommend this as an option if you have not played these the series for these. And if you don't have a Wii but you have other consoles like a Vita, PSP, a Switch, I would recommend playing those as well, because I've played a few of those. The next game is going to be Klonoa 2, and honestly I don't know if there's a difference in name between the Japanese version or the English version, but the English one has the name at the end, Lunatea's Veil. It is going to be a direct sequel to the first one that was in 1997, Klonoa Door 2 Phantomil. Main reason why I kind of fell interested into it was because there's a YouTuber, Metal Jesus. I was actually talking about this game, but I think he was more talking about the handheld of this game. I can't remember if it was released for DS or Game Boy Advance. I think it's one of those two, but I think the playstyle for it is a bit different than this one. But it's a 2D side-scrolling game with 3D rendered environment. So I thought it would be fun. And yes, even though this is the Japanese version, one of the main things, why we got this one is we have a Japanese PlayStation 2, and it was way cheaper to get this one than the English version. And if honestly I want to know more about the story, there are gameplay footage from beginning to end of Klonoa 2 online, so I can just find all of those cutscenes and stuff and watch them while I enjoy the platforming aspects of it this way. So for me, that wasn't really a step back in getting the Japanese version versus the English one, because you have other alternatives in order to kind of take and compile everything together, you know, gameplay and story, finding it online, and for people who do have the English game for Klonoa 2, because whether you get the English game for the first one or the second one, because the first one also released on the Wii, and this one was also released here stateside for the PS2 as well, but those games are like super expensive. Not too long ago we went to a mom and pop shop and they had the first and the second game, first one on the Wii and then the second one, this one, but on the PS2, and the gentleman was asking for around $50 for the second one. And I want to say for the Japanese one, unless I think the receipt is gone from here, but this game was easily around between $15 to $20. It wasn't no 50 bucks for it. So for me personally, whether it's a Japanese or English or European release, if you can be able to get it for a cheaper cost but being able to still enjoy it, then I don't see why not to be able to get the Japanese version for the game, honestly. But yeah, this is Klonoa 2. And just really enjoy platformer games, because there are times whenever you play JRPGs and you're just in the mood for a JRPG, but then you get maybe tired, or you just want to take a break from it and you just want to play a good platformer, or you want to play a good party game. So that's why it's just good to have those options. The next one that we have is called Dragon's Crown for the PS3. It was released, I think, also on the PlayStation 4. I'd have to double check for the PS Vita, but I thought it was, honestly. Well, one of the main things really liked about it was the art style for the backgrounds, the monsters. The different playable classes, they're really different proportions, honestly, and it's kind of very funny how unproportioned these characters are. I don't take it in a bad way, it's just funny. It makes me laugh. There's up to 4 player for multiplayer, so you can be able to do it couch co-op, or if you wanted to do network players, I think that's still available for the PlayStation 3. If not, then you still have the couch co-op 1 to 4. And you have a skill tree, improving stats and learning new skills. So this was one of the games where kind of we looked at it and we thought we would get it, also just really interested for that co-op aspect for it. The Dragon's Crown was $10, and I want to say that if I saw the PS4 version of it was like $15, maybe $20. We got this one at Game Exchange. And I'm going to just try to take out the receipt so I can actually show the inside of it here. Oh, there you go. But yeah, it's a beat 'em up combat with you know, you have different dungeons and stuff, and then you have bosses, like boss mini battles and stuff that you can be able to do, find treasure. Just an overall good game to be able to also play just cooperatively with others. And then the last two that we have here in this pile is going to be a PlayStation 4 game, Indivisible. So for this one, kind of thinking and deciding for a long while whether to get the PlayStation 4 or Switch version, but for the fact that the PS4 version was only, if I remember right, $15 for this one, and online it's showing that I think that the Switch version should come out sometime before the end of 2020. But at that point, it's like, it's probably going to be a $40 game, or I think it even shows it listing as a $40 game if it's more expensive than it is online. I do like the fact of portability, but the $15 price tag was a bit more of a convenience than anything else. So we have this right here. And of course it's a platformer, so that's why one of the also main interests too. It looked like it had good characters, different attacks for them, and a good enemy selection that's available. But yeah, it says here you can recruit over 20 playable characters, and it has of course the hand-drawn 2D art animation infused with intense real-time battles. There is kind of a sad story behind the development team for Indivisible, and like if you want you can research it more online. I had already done so, but at the same time I still wanted to play this game itself. And I know during this time whenever they were doing this, there was a lot of hardships and just things kind of going behind the scenes for the development team, unfortunately, that you know, a lot of us wish could have been avoided and so on. But from what I've seen, I'm gonna be I'll play this sometime, hopefully within the next 1 or 2 months, for Indivisible. And supporting what other games that they come out with, because to my knowledge, after they put the Switch release out, I don't think they're gonna be really producing a lot of the game for the Switch, and I think it's already had its final update from what I've seen online for it. The last game was kind of, I wasn't expecting, and I didn't realize until listening to more and more of the songs online that I had listened to these songs, like whether it was in the car from the radio or in a store that had the music that was just playing in the background, that I had listened to a lot of these songs. I had, yesterday I was listening to the YouTube playlist of it, and hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly. Avicii Invector, where it sounds like a CH, like an invisible H is in between there for the pronunciation. Hopefully that was correct. And it was kind of, I wasn't expecting this because, you know, when you have a rhythm game, normally you might have something that's more of an animation style for the front cover, or you have something that's more, you know, not just the person's face up here at the top. And I felt bad because I didn't really look at it. The name didn't click at all, because there's a lot of songs that I would listen to where I just don't know, or I don't put attention to who's actually singing them. I'm just listening to the song and it kind of goes through this random playlist or through the radio and stuff, and I'm just listening and enjoying it, but not really paying attention to who it is that's singing it. But this is a rhythm game that has 25 songs, and it caught me off by surprise. On the back of it here, you kind of have like this little spaceship, and there's neon lights with everything and notes that's going to pass by while you're playing the song. I'll need to check to see if there's difficulties for the songs, because so far it doesn't list saying if there's like an easy, normal, and hard mode on the back covering for it. But I wanted to give this a shot because whenever I listened to some of the tracks and the tracks that I had listened to in the past, they were just really, really good. And there's a story behind Avicii. Didn't know this, but he had passed away some time ago, a couple years back. But this is towards him. I really don't know how to say much for this one because I kind of, well, when he passed away a sad way. So that's what I was just kind of thinking. And my dog back here just keeps on snoring. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't keep snoring so that you guys can keep hearing it in the background. I'm sorry. But in here there was like a piece of paper in there that was for a code. Have to see if it actually works or not, or if it's already been redeemed, but then that's the disc right there. But yeah, this one was just me looking at it online quickly, listening to some of the songs and deciding to get this for the rhythm bass aspect of it. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a really good rhythm game because the songs are fantastic, so hoping for that. And it looks like from this stack here that's it. And do you guys have any questions for me? Anything? Have you guys played any of these games that I've listed here? Or have any of these games kind of interested you in the past to kind of grab or get, at a mom and pop shop or GameStop location? If you have any recommendations for any games or anything that you're playing right now, let me know in the comment section, because yeah, I don't work from home. I don't have that luxury, but whenever I get the time off or I am off, it's good to check out other games, other things that people are recommending. A lot of times you guys surprise me as to what you recommend, so yeah. I hope you guys have a good day or good night wherever you are, and thank you very much for watching this video. Len Mooney signing out. Bye bye.